The word of God is quick and powerful, sharper than any two-edged sword. And we are so convinced that the entrance of His word coming to you will give light and solution to all life's issues. This message is brought to you by the Word Center Church, Nigeria, ministering Pastor Segun Olaseyinde.
Father, send your word to us today. In Jesus' name we pray. Please have your seat. Let me just do a little recap. On Sunday, beginning a journey of leadership, and we taught that leadership is a revealer of men. Who remember that? That leadership is a revealer of men. If you don't want to be exposed, if you don't want to, you can say you are anything until you come into leadership. You can say you are simple, you are gentle, you are easygoing. You can say you are kind, you are prayerful. So I think I'm a gentle person. We agree. Until you come into leadership and men stretch you. The leadership will reveal to you and to everybody who you truly are. You can't hide yourself anymore as you enter into leadership. And one thing I was able to establish on Sunday, that leadership is a revealer of men. And who know that before? Let me ask. Who know that statement before? Who has made that statement before? Anybody? You have made that statement before? It's your first time hearing that. Come again. You have made that statement before?
I have notice of people who have become leaders and change.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who make money and change. Money is not even as powerful as leadership. Wow.
To the position of leadership.
Yeah. If I want to humble you, they take it up very high. It will not expose you. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. You know, you can say you are anything when you are nobody seeing you. Nobody is watching you. Until God lifts you. You will learn to humble you. See, of course, I'll be talking about some things about that today if I have the time. I just want us to come to an understanding, all of us, so that I won't just be teaching. It's better I teach one thing. Well, I look at the note and I come to a conclusion that I won't teach this note to be too deep. Because I want to be so sure that all of us can understand. Because leadership is, everybody is in leadership. It's only the scope of leadership is different. For example, look at Miss Obala, she's a leader, if not to anybody. She see that she looks like she's gentle, but she's not. She's not a gentle person. If you meet her, you know she's not gentle. She's firm. No. It takes God to help her. Only me can confront her. Any other person, you can't. So, look at these two girls. These two young girls. No matter how great anybody is around them, the leader they are looking at is their mother. There's a tendency, 98% tendency, that they want to mold their life according to how she is or what she says. That is why you can't have a very fantastic parent that God help, and I said the God factor, and the children turn out badly. Some of us are here, our children are not rich, but they are fantastic. But our parents are not rich either. But you know that if not that your dad is a little bit a disciplinarian, your mom is soft, all those combinations produce a you that is human. And when the day you step out of the house, there is a sense of, I can't go back home with this. I can't try this nonsense. Not that you are not tempted to, or it's not appealing to you, but there is a consciousness somewhere deep down of a man who has the key to unlock you. So when you get home and the man look at you once, how many of us have seen our parents just come in, they're not talking, and you're saying, I'm dead. He's not talking. And there's a tendency you too will want to have a child that you can talk to like that. So when you have your own child, you look at him, oh, okay. Are you okay? That is all. I say, because in their days, they know what is. All these things are sentences, not word, sentences. Some are paragraphs. And that is why, but as she can say to us, because she knows that I'm a gentle person, we can say I'm not gentle. Ask these children. They know what things they don't think she doesn't think they know. So leadership will expose you. Why? See, as a follower, you can hide for a long time. We all thought Miriam was fantastic until she came into leadership. I don't have to go there. We all thought, who know Miriam? Miriam in the Bible. Do you know Miriam? There's a Miriam in the Bible, the sister of Moses. Miriam is a Bible name. It's a Bible name. Miriam. We all thought she's a fantastic sister. If you remember that when Moses was young, she was the one that took Moses to the river. She was the one that went to call the mom. I said, no, fantastic. Saying that woman is a caring girl. Oh, sweet girl. Until she found leadership. The Bible says she and her brother rise up against Moses. She now felt that she has a voice. It was Moses that brought them to plant leadership. Most people, you won't know who you truly are. Don't tell me this is who you are until you step into leadership. Leadership will expose you. So I'm going to talk about the key things, some key points in leadership. Remember them? You mentioned how many on Sunday? Some key points you're going to consider. How many do you mention on Sunday? 7. Please, can you tell me number 1? Every genuine leadership has a root in God. Thank you. Number 2.
It takes a leader to produce another leader.
It takes a leader to produce another leader. And I will explain that maybe next week. Why you want to understand that? Let me leave it. Because most of us felt that because your dad is not in any pronounced leadership, he can't produce as a leader. It's not true. Anybody that's a leader over you, no matter how pronounced or how silent they are, has the capacity to produce you as a leader. And I don't mean give back to you, I mean produce you. Number 3, please.
Learn from the success and failure of men who are also anointed. Learn from the success and failure of men who are also anointed.
I now said something that you didn't write. I said these are men who have weaknesses, yet they have potential to get blessed by God. And you must know that. These are men that have weaknesses, yet they have potential. How do you marry both? Weakness with men, potential with God. That's leader. That's solid leadership. Number 4. Success ordinarily don't produce success. Is that?
Failure is not inherited.
Failure what?
Failure is not inherited.
It's not inherited. That's not part of it. That's a note. Success don't produce ordinarily successful people. No. And failures don't produce failures. Ordinarily. It takes a lot to happen. And I said the whole process answers to a lot of things. Okay, next one, please.
Level of spiritual damage.
That's deep. The level of spiritual damage that one poor leader can do can be a burden to all. Next one.
Poor leadership leads to poor outcome. Poor leadership leads to poor outcome.
Yeah, poor leadership leads to poor outcome. Okay. Let me also say 2 more, and I'll teach you something very precise today. Thank you. Another one?
Number 7. The fact that you are a leader does not make you an end to yourself.
They are not an end to yourself. That's the beginning of destruction. You're not an end to yourself. Most of us are an end to ourselves. Nobody can talk to you. I was somewhere today trying to settle a very badly managed family. And they have been everybody just went their own way. This one didn't show up. This one went. Everybody was fighting. And the problem is that both of them are an end to themselves. Nobody submit to anybody. You're just, you can't, I won't agree. No grief for anybody. What you guys doing? I have a friend, a pastor friend, and then he come and say, this year we don't go grief for anybody. I said, who are you fighting? Are you getting me? Okay, let me say 2 things. 2 more points because of time. And I will just take it from there. Okay, and key point number, whatever you are writing now, I don't know, is that the book of Kings shows that God will always watch over his word. God will always watch over his word to perform it. If you read the book of Kings, you will see something that is amazing. God will speak to a man and God will bring it past at the 4th generation. Even these guys who are going through it does not know what God says and when God says it. But God that spoke the word says, I spoke to your father. There are sometimes God even keep punishment and postpone it. And that is why this month we are going to pray a lot. Some of us are going through what you call life issues, but they are spiritual punishment. Because God will say, because it's like this girl now, come. This girl did what is wrong, but somehow she'll find her way back to God. And God said, I will not bring it to pass in your days, but I will send it ahead of you. May God not send, men like Abraham send grace ahead. Men like David send mercy ahead. Men like some kings send punishment ahead. So I don't know who gave back to you. I don't know the lineage you came from. But some lineage have done so terrible things that there is a sending forth ahead of some life, God, spiritual punishment. Not devil, God. And this is why it becomes a very crucial issue. If it's the devil, you can pray him off. But God's punishment, do we pray it off? These are things I'm going to look at in this month. Because how do we now handle it when God begins to punish a family? Because if you notice very well, sometimes when the family offend God, God will punish the nation. When the nation offend God, God will accept the family. Not for today. Let me just leave it. But we need to study in this house this month. How do God come to a place of saying the punishment over this lineage will stop, or I will exempt you from it? What do men who has such experience, what did they do? Because if it's devil, it's easy to cast devil away. And I find that I can tell you with all confidence, it's easy to cast devil away when God is with you. But devil will also make a mockery of you when God is fighting you. Yeah. Devil will not touch you, he will just come to make a mockery of you. And say, okay, what do you have now? And he will make a mockery of you and go. And yet you are praying, thinking in your head that it is the devil that is making mockery. But there is a way God said to different kings who come against his will and say, but along the way, even when Ahab pray, God turn. Who know Ahab? How many of you are studying scriptures already? By now you should be reading your kings. If you are serious at all. It's not a time to read Psalm. If you are serious at all. You should be reading your kings by now. Because some of this I was saying to you before, some of you didn't even know the name. I was saying on Thursday, Ehud. Who is Ehud? By now you should be studying your kings. Sit down. But there are many things that God will teach you personally. Different from what He's teaching you from this altar. So you need to start and key into it. That the oil of leadership is in the house now. You can learn a lot to run your family and freedom. Most of us, we have trouble today because we are just purely ignorant. And sometimes people have come to me to impart them with leadership. I always laugh. The leadership is not imparted. It's trained. Oh, you don't know? You can't impart leadership. So as a leader, I impart upon you grace of my leadership. Could they work? It's never, even for God who says Elijah anoint Elisha, God still give Elisha some time so he can train him. Leaders are trained, they are not imparted. You can't impart leadership on people. You can impart grace, you can impart life, you can impart a lot of things. But leadership, no, you will have to go to the school and be trained. Or else you are going to be a failure. Imagine they impart president on you. That's a leader. We impart upon you president. I say president, stand up. I'm not the president. What do you know? Nothing. Politics? Nothing. Governance? Nothing. Do you go to school? I didn't go to school. How can you relate? I don't know. Who's your team? I don't need a team. Definitely the nation will be under fire in 1 week. You'll be setting the whole, and you'll be doing what is right in your eyes. So you can't impart leadership. That is why if you see all through the scripture, God does not raise men by accident. There is no accidental leader. It means that God will tell a man, go to this person, prophet, go and anoint him king. Even when God said that, he still will not be a king for the next 1 year. So you must learn that God watch over his word. And that is a very crucial thing in leadership. Especially leadership. So a leader comes into a system where God speaks, God will not forget. When God speaks to a leader, God can even overlook what he says to followers sometimes. But God will not forget what he says to leaders. That is why as a leader, you have to be very careful of what you are doing. Because what God says about you, when you are forgotten, when generation has passed and you are no more, God will still bring you to pass. And I always said to God, I don't want to be the victim generation. I don't know about you. But I don't want to be the victim generation. That a man does this, you let him escape. A man does this, you let him escape. Then you now said, oh, you bring it to pass on the third generation. Don't bring it to pass over me. Now, how do I now not allow God to also, if I do well, and you can postpone punishment for a long time. Yeah, but you can postpone it. You can make God to suspend it until one of your children come into error. So when you are serving God and you don't take cognizance of what you need to do to suspend or to eliminate that thing, you will suspend it. Your children will not begin to misbehave. But you did well. I was talking on Sunday that David was a bad father. But the bad fatherhood was influenced by God. Not that it just became God influenced him to fail as a father. It was not devil, it was God. So you need to learn all of these things. That's a key point. And you'll be doing that. And you'll be praying a lot this month, I said so from Thursday, because you have to pray it off. I will not be the victim, I will not be the one to be punished. But somebody must have to pay the price. So how do we now stop the price? Some say, I blood of Jesus. No, that's not all. That's just the little understanding of it. There are steps you need to take, biblical steps, to make a punishment to end. Punishment don't end by blood of Jesus only. There are steps that I've seen in Kings that men took and said, no, God, it will stop. So let me say one more, then I begin to teach you for today. And this one is very critical. I will keep the rest so that when next time we are saying, we can have something to say next time. See, let me say this very consciously, and please pay attention to what I want to say now. It takes humility to retain God in leadership, but it takes responsibility to retain men. It takes humility to retain God and responsibility to retain men in leadership. It takes humility to retain God in leadership. And it takes responsibility to retain men. Let me shake some table here. Anybody ever come across a leader and you felt this leader is arrogant? Yet, God is with him and man does not live him. Anybody has seen that before? Only one person is talking. Only I have seen it before. Have you seen it before? You saw it, you met somebody, you saw a leader from afar. You are thinking this leader looks arrogant to me. Yet you can trace around him the presence of God, and men that are with him are loyal to him. You are wondering why are they loyal to him? He looks arrogant to me. I have seen that before. But most of the things it takes humility to retain men. Humility does not retain men. As a leader. No. Humility retain God. Why responsibility retain men? I need to understand this thing. God give grace to the humble. And when you see a wise leader, anywhere he sees God, he goes humble there. But anywhere he sees men, he becomes responsible for their life. A leader who has responsibility over people will succeed, will retain them. You wonder why you fail when they put you under government, say you're the leader, everybody just do what they like, because you are not responsible. There are many, I've seen many responsible leadership practice in church and out of church. And you are not responsible. There is no commitment, no innate commitment from you to men. And you can't move God by anything. Your responsibility does not move God. It takes humility. God will watch the humility of a leader. Because God judged their pride faster. You understand? Whatever Aaron said was a careless word that people can say. But Aaron said, they said your voice is like that of God. He raised his shoulder. They said, somebody said, look at all I've achieved. That was the king of Babylon. He was not even a Christian. He said, by my hand I've gathered all this. The Bible says, instantly heaven will react. Heaven will react to a proud leader any day. No matter how much responsible you are. You can't be responsible towards God. No, you have to be humble towards God. And it takes humility. And you can't be. See, why does God keep some people in a low level of leadership? Because they are not humble. They are not. You see some people start their growth. Maybe let's say, for example, now, let me use spiritual growth now. You start from maybe a youth leader in a church, one local church. And God saw how you do your leadership. God was wanting. Youth leader. From there, he now turn you to probably you now enter body world. He said you are now a zonal leader, or you are now president of secretary of all the fellowship in the school, and nobody can talk to you. You are arrogant. God said, "Don't worry, let him finish his course. Close this door." And that person, that person has potential to grow, but that person is just lost in the scheme of things. And why they go and raise somebody else who has been beside him, who has no potential as it was. And that person begin to rise gradually. Then one day you find out that the one that has no potential before is now a pastor, known everywhere, and the guy that has a potential is just a Christian brother. Sitting now in the church. Why does God do that? Because the one that look at his potential becomes arrogant with it. Maybe I should start my teaching now. And God will not see, no matter how solid you are, God don't raise arrogant leaders. God cannot swallow it when you are arrogant and you are a leader. You can survive being arrogant a little, maybe a little, if you are a follower. Because Joab never died until he came old. Very arrogant man. How can you confront your leader and say, you kill his son, you are the one that killed his son? You still ask him not to cry. Arrogant. Very careless. Has no feeling. Yet, God did not react to. Let David try it. You will see God. The day David took Bathsheba, nobody knew. Why Uzzah died, nobody knew. It was only God that saw it. God don't spare leaders. What God will spare with followers. That is why please respect your leaders. Oh, you don't know their dealings. Because what you will do and go scot-free, leader will try it and God will say no. No. I won't let you go. I won't let you go. And at the end of this teaching, maybe somebody begin to have an understanding of why your parents had issues. God can't swallow arrogant leaders. A leader has to be humble to retain God and be responsible to retain men. You have to be highly responsible. And responsibility must be very clean and sincere to retain men. There are some people today who are connected to some leaders. You can't pull them off. Why? They saw the leader taking responsibility. He's not giving money. He's taking responsibility over their life. Money can be inclusive sometimes. But you not be a follower that needs money all the time. No. But may I say to you here today, while I was praying, God showed you to me. That's responsibility. Or you are coming to someone and say, don't worry. Say, why are you showing? Don't worry. Why? Say, just be going. And you left. And the person went back to you and said, God, but you told me. And God said, I didn't change it. Just leave her. I'm just the one working. Say, that person said, don't worry. God spoke to me everything in the past. So how do you know? He's taking responsibility for your life. Somebody that can say to you, stop. Don't go that direction. Stop. Don't do that. That's responsibility. If you can do everything and nobody's correcting you, that person doesn't know who you are. How do you retain me? By responsibility. How do you retain God? By humility. Now let me now say it. Humility without responsibility will make you a failure. Responsibility without humility will make you a mockery. Now let me start teaching. 1 Samuel 16 is where I'm going today. And I don't want to do this teaching all through this month without getting there. So I felt that we can do that a little today and trust God that we'll be able to run this out as quick as possible. So we can delve into some bigger things. 1 Samuel 16 is an account of God telling Samuel to go to the house of Jesse to anoint him a king. Let me say this. Kingship or leadership is, we say by inheritance, that's kingship. The king part of leadership is by inheritance. And if you don't understand what that means, you will fail a lot. Now, let me explain it to you in a simple terms. Come. Femi, come. Yetunde, come. Stay here. Stay here. Stay here. Move back. A man is a tripartite being. He's a spirit that have a soul that dwells in a body. Of the three levels of men, the highest level of a man is a spirit. The lowest level of a man is his flesh. How do I explain this to you? Do you understand me? A man is a tripartite being. And I will tell you why you struggle with. In that tripartite being, I don't want to use them, so we'll go with. A man is a spirit. A man is not having body. Having spirit. A man is a spirit. He does not have a spirit. The man is a spirit. He has a body or he has a soul, but he lives in a body. Now, the mind of man can live for a long time. That means whatever you create from your mind can live for a long time. The body of a man lives for a while, but the spirit of a man lives forever. Understand that? Now, my God, help me. In the tripartite nature of a man, his spirit is his highest form. That's why we tell you that the highest blessing is spiritual blessing. When you say that to an unbeliever, they say, I can't mention that. You don't understand that to a spiritual man, to a man who has a biblical knowledge, what makes you most prosperous is not in your body. Your highest level of prosperity is in your spirit. When your spirit is prospering, I wish above all that you prosper and big, even as your soul prospers. So to God, it's not body prosperity that matters the most. Because if you have money and your spirit is in sickness or probably is in darkness, devil can mess you up at any time. Mess you up at any day. So to us, the highest level of a man is his spirit, then his soul, then his body. Now listen to me when I was saying very carefully. The three levels of man can have offspring. And this is where you're going to get. The three levels of a man can have offspring. You can have spiritual children. You can have people that follow your mind. And you produce a disciple after your thinking. They call it thought pattern. Sometimes I've had a school of thought. So we're law school. You are a school of thought. They say we are in this school of thought. That school of thought was a product of one man who thinks this direction. And everybody begin to align their mind. Then there is a body. In the production line, your spirit has more capacity for more children. This one is endless. Your mind will sift. Your mind. People can be here and they are not here. You make this teaching difficult for me. You are not understanding. People can be here. You can have 1 million spiritual children, but only 100 people following your soul. Thinking the way. They are observing what you are doing. They are repeating what you are doing. They believe that what you are doing is God's way. And they are doing it, and you have to use God because you are in church. They are following your school of thought. And you can come to the body here, all you have is just 2 children. So when they say kingship is inheritance, don't let your mind be working only on this. If your mind is working on this only, on the body only, you're going to miss a lot. And can I tell you the truth? Even in dealing with your parent has a spirit. I don't think you can take on this thing. Your father has a spirit. He has a soul. He has a body. Some of you, because you are born to that man, you begin your journey from here. There are some of us today who are thinking the way our father is thinking. Who are doing things. You have a culture they will pass to you. Your mind is ripe around what they say to you. They are the one that created your mindset. You know? And sometimes, because some of them are either of the Lord or of the devil, whichever one, they have capacity to pour their spirit into you. And I can tell you from the first time, when you give birth to a child, the parent will be the one to take you to your first spiritual house. Either it's herbalist or God. And sometimes if they don't have anyone, they keep you at home. You're going to bully you. They didn't take you to church. They didn't take you anywhere. So they didn't give you any spiritual line. They just leave you as a spiritual vagabond. Living in the wilderness of spirit. They don't care. All they care about, and that's why we see a parent that cares about the education of a child only. Give that child some years, it will show the defect. How to stop, what to do, everything. We just assess that child. And the child begin to misbehave. Why now I wonder if for one school. And if one school, body and service. You enter somewhere in the spirit, you go. You enter somewhere in the mind, you go. Look at that child, he enters on the soul. Now, if I want to tell my child now about how to take or the nature of his mind, I will tell him, you have to be gentle and be quiet. Patience is a virtue. I will teach her all of those things. But I will pour my grace on her. I want to begin the spirit. It's not, I will use my calling to her spirit. I will unlock her spirit by the understanding of my knowledge of God. So that when she's alone, she's a spiritual warrior. You don't need me to pray for her. She doesn't need to call me until the battery is hot. Only I can stand at the gate. Because most of you can stand at the gate. Because the one that produces you does not produce you for the gate. You can't stand at the gate and push out enemy. No enemy can meet you at the gate. You are going to run. I want to raise a child that she can stay at the gate without calling me. Because Bible didn't say I will join him or I will join her. It didn't say no. So she will be the one at the gate pushing back the enemy. That means before you can send her to the gate, you will raise her. Both inheritance of the spirit, of the mind, of the body. So she has what it takes to stand at the gate without calling you. How many of you can find issue now without calling anybody? She can stand at the gate and say no. She knows how to handle money. She knows what to reject as an opportunity and what to access. That's the impartation of the spirit. So she can stand there and say, hey, push back. And she's facing issue. She said, Daddy, if you know what I went through last month, I said, what did you do? She said, you didn't come inside, I don't need to call you. You have pushed a lot in me to handle it. That's inheritance. So now, this is applicable to all levels of leadership, including parenting, which is the smallest level of leadership. If I want to do a little research now, I will ask a question. How many of us were raised by a man who does not know God, who does not know Jesus? Come. Thank you. Take a microphone. Sorry, I'm asking you. I'm putting you on the spot. Sorry, okay? Just trying to teach, okay? I'm not trying to abuse your pastor or something. Now, look at a man that raised you that does not know God. Like, how did he raise you compared to where you are now in life? And things you have learned from God. And things you have faced now. What he put into you. Did he prepare you to face life?
No, sir.
What did he prepare you to do?
Like, sometimes if you want to go to church, you'll be like, if you want to bless them, be like, Emma, she carry me.
I don't understand.
Like, if you are preparing to go to church.
Does it now prepare? I'm not talking of even dress now. When you want to face life, you know what is called life?
Yeah.
Did he prepare you to? Now you are on your own. You are facing a lot of things. Can you say, I'm facing this issue based on what I learned from my parents, and those things are now strength for me to face this issue. Did you hear me?
No,
so what did he prepare you for?
For education, like
education. Go to school, and that's all. So when you now face life, does school matter?
No, sir.
No God, no knowledge, no cultural, no nothing. They just do go to school. All you have in your head is biology. And when they come, he won't ask you what is the biology. When life happened to you, they will ask you what is physics. They will ask you what is this inheritance you have in your inner spirit. They will ask you to confront at the gate. When the day you get to the gate, may you not get there weak. Because your children will defend you at the gate. One day, sir, your parents will not stay at the gate with you. They won't stay there. They will leave you to the gate and they will go back. They will be inside and the gate will be hot. And you'll be able to stand at the gate and say, no. I was talking to one man today who called me and said, please, I said this guy can't try it. I'm sitting down. I don't need to stay off this issue. Only me will face it. Only me. I will face him and I will pull him down. I'm strong enough to stand at that gate. The day your parents are weak, the day your parents can't stand anymore, may they not be sitting down and you two are sitting down. Because you are as weak as they are weak. They're weak. A weak, because all you ever know is their strength. Transfer anything to you. Nothing on the inside of you. Nothing. Your spirit is so empty that the day anything happens to you, the moment enemy appear or life appear, you are turning back. Bible says, woe to him that turn his back on battle. You are turning back every day. Everything is hot, you are turning back. Everything is hot, you are turning back. You can't face life. You are always at the mercy of people. Because they didn't put anything. The spiritual inheritance you didn't have. Physical one, biological one you didn't have. Everything they gave to you is just nothing. So she now has to learn school again. She has to reschool her spirit. Reschool her spirit now. Learning that there is something called spiritual inheritance. I can now gain grace. I can now ask truth to work for me. Now, when it now became strong, by the grace of God, she became stronger. If she now became strong, the parent that didn't put anything to her, we now ask for spiritual inheritance for her. And why did she know? Can't put us on. I don't need to. But they raise another chance somewhere. They don't want to take that honor that they raise you well. They didn't raise you well. You only find grace. And you can't approach it. And that is why we have problem in Africa today. Nonsense. People that fail to do their responsibilities. Can't approach it. I'm not saying don't take your responsibility. I'm saying that why do we have to go to that system? Because a responsibility failed. It failed. If I ask these four of them, their story might be similar. Did you find the father who prepared you for life? No. So all of you are now facing life now without any equipping. Life just happen. You don't even know what to do. And you know that you can't even turn back on them. But if you turn back and ask them, you don't so, I think don't so cool, but I'm daddy, pastor, daddy, pastor. Oh no. If they have done their bats at the minute, they couldn't let over, sir. You understand that? Do you want to go deeper? Go sit down. You understand what I just explained? You understand what I just explained? It's the problem of Africa. That's our problem. Leadership is wrong. Very wrong. Very wrong. And I don't want to stress it to the point that I just speak a lot of things. I don't grab why I'm saying this. Don't look up, look inward. Because you two are on the journey. You two are on the journey. I'm so certain under God by His grace that I will not only leave houses and cars. Because when you put a person with biologically, you give him houses and cars, and you don't give him spiritual substance. All of it, misbehave. There is a man in this city called Francis Ayegbeni, the owner of D. Rovans Hotel. Who knew that hotel? You guys are D. Rovans was one of the biggest hotels in Ibadan some years ago. The man has a whole estate, both right and left of the street belongs to him. And he has it. Not that it's a estate you have to go in, they have to open gate for you. Not the street. And the whole estate belongs to him. He built it. He was on top of his game. Then he died. Then all his children, one son went abroad. The other son began to take drugs. And one day he sold a whole estate for 7 million. And he used it to take drugs. Today, Ayebeni has nothing. Not even a piece of block anymore on the earth. What did he do? They raised this one. He went to school now. But no spiritual inheritance. So when the enemy came at the gate, the guy was too weak. We raised children for the gate. We raised children for the gate. I'm not raising you today. I'm raising you for the gate. One day I will not be here anymore. That will be a very long time from now. You can stand and say, our father taught us. Say, Pastor, you taught me, sir. Daddy, you taught me. You show me how to fight battle of life. I don't like a Christian who don't face anything. How do you test what you have learned? Some of you are complaining. You face this, you are complaining. That's how to test it. If they don't you face things. You say, hey, you are complaining more money. Are you an Israelite? And the wilderness. Stop more money. Face it. Why we taught you faith is for day of trouble? That's your inheritance. Most of you are thinking that it's no, that's your inheritance. You're waiting for me to pour to not do ha. Am I an herbalist? Say, enter into you. It does not come like that. Leadership is not imparted. They are trained. Train somebody. That's how God raised us. Why am I saying that? All I've said is just to say one thing. There was a man called Samuel. You know that? Because if you read that place, I don't understand what I'm talking about. Why do you think Samuel was praying for Saul? Why? Answer me. Why do you think Samuel was interceding for Saul? Because you know Saul messed up. And Samuel was praying for Saul. Why do you think Samuel keep praying after God has spoken? Mercy for him. Any other person? Why did Samuel keep praying for Saul? That's possible for him. No. That's not the word I'm looking for. Any other person? No wisdom. That's why I was praying for him. No. You know why I praying for him? Because Saul is a spiritual seed. Saul was a spiritual seed of Samuel. So what Saul had as a prophetic grace was not because he qualified for it. We notice that when Samuel met Saul and he was producing Saul, Say, as you are going, you meet some class of prophet who submitted to Samuel. Say, as you are going, the spirit of the prophet will rest upon you. That is an inheritance. It's not fit for it. A king don't carry that spirit. It was the mark of Saul's sonship to Samuel. I will give you the gift of the prophet. You don't need it. While I'm still here. Why do you need to carry it when you need me? And if you know that Saul never used that spirit once. Who noticed? Saul never displayed that spirit once. On the only day he displayed was very rest upon him. It became an hidden potential. And that's why I can tell you potential will die when you disconnect. Easily, it's not prophecy, it's normal. Most of the things some of you are flying with are not yours. Often, I beg Baluki, often. Rokoloni, child. I didn't imagine. Wow, we couldn't tell. The Rokoloni is not yours. You are not the original owner of it. I know that the sustain the collective flow. Kò sí knowledge ẹ, kò sí ní order ẹ, wọ́n á gbà fún ẹni, abẹ́ gbà á wá fún ẹ, òun á gbà tán òròbó ti tó tán, agbára ti pọ̀, bó lè máa fò lọ, àwa níkè, ẹ jẹ́ ká fún láyè kó fò, ẹ jẹ́ ó fò ó, òun á fò lókè, òun tí kọjá bí tí rúfin wá, òun á ń bọ̀ nílẹ̀, òun á ń wọlé pé òun ní jábọ̀, òun á ń struggle, á jẹ́ ó jábọ̀, òun ò wọ́kọ́ ló ní òun mọ bó ṣe rí. You can't sustain what God did not give to you directly. You can't. It takes a connectivity to sustain it if it's given to you. You can't. You can't. The guy had an issue with Samuel, the gift died. Even David had no prophetic gift, yet he succeeded. How come a king who has a prophetic gift fail? At least he should see most things before it happens. He saw nothing, sir. Though he had a gift, but his eyes is blind. Because he never went to Samuel for any schoolship again. School at Paris, but it's the gift back. So all of us, Samuel, today I will finish so. I will not honor your prayer over him. And same God said he didn't allow his word to fall to the ground. How do you marry? Sir, that God gave you a covenant doesn't mean he's going to work for everybody. If God want to fight a man, he will make sure your gift does not work. You didn't hear me? He doesn't want to fight the man. He will even give you a gift and he will suspend that gift from working. Because God want to fight that man. Samuel, God told him, Samuel, your word will not fall to the ground. I've already saw. Samuel prayed, God said no. I've never seen God do what he did to Saul. God came to him and said, don't pray for him again. Sir? He said, don't pray for him again. It's not mercy. But I have closed the gate over this guy. As far as I'm concerned, he has done beyond what he should do. Why should you? The gift of your word not fall to the ground is suspended. No, it's so over 4. God go against covenant when he want to punish a man. Most of you need to understand these things. When they humble, they must submit. Only while they're cool. I'm not that you. I'm not that you. What that be obey. Bible says use the foolishness of this world to confine the wise. I'm not that you. I'm not blind followers. They are only foolish climbers. You know, a spiritual seed was disconnected. And he says, but that's spiritual. Sons of Samuel, sorry. Who know their name? Sons of Samuel. I just want to show you that inheritance before I start some little teaching and I will close. Sons of Samuel were qualified to be the next prophet and rule Israel. Hophni and Phinehas, what they did was the benchmark. But while they are doing it, God gave Samuel an escape. Most times, your sacrifice of today is your glory of tomorrow. That you didn't join them to do it doesn't mean you are foolish. They are only securing your tomorrow. Imagine the future of Hophni and Phinehas. They are qualified by grace, but disqualified by God. By inheritance, they are qualified, but grace say no. So God said no, they can't get. So that you are born by that blood. You can carry the blood of another man and you are very anointed. Sorry, I'm too fast. You can carry the blood of an anointed man and you are very unanointed. You can carry the vessel of another man and yet you are devil. Not every God of Babalola are spiritual. Who knows Ọlọ́run Babalola? Not all of them knows anything about Babalola. You can carry that name and not carry that spirit. Because most of them don't have the root connection. The sons of Samuel also lose out of the inheritance. So it's not about the line you are. I want to start teaching you. Come. Because this statement is where I'm going to start. Just teach you something smaller. I close. Stay here. Stand and stay here. Stay here. 1. Come. Stay here beside him. 2. Stay beside him. 3. This is the Father. It's not about which line you are. Either you are spiritual, you are soul, you have the body, or you are stay here. And you are the mother. It doesn't matter. See all these things. The same law is applicable to both all the inheritance. This man can produce a man like this, spiritual, who is a man in the body, and yet a man in the spirit, that says spiritually, and the man in the body didn't do well, and the man that produced the spirit did very well. And I asked him, but and this man was saying, "Intimudaleni is there." Why? But it's not the problem. It's that this guy does not understand how to enter into the inheritance. He can't. As a man, he will have spent more on this person, but the spirit said no. While he's spending, the Bible says he's spending his money, but his spirit is going here. The day this man lay down, heaven opened. The way this man lay down, he struggled to pray. Everything he say is from his head. He's looking for connectivity, is not there. This guy has no understanding of inheritance. So in two on lower school, put the full lunge, put the rash off, Tita Fidada. Talk about shit, talk about to influence about shit. But I hear in the next 20, 30 years of life. But when you are first 20, 25 years, you are not you are this man's work. You start living at 23, 25. That's your real life. So when this guy now lives 20 years of his life at 43, he's still small compared to this guy who has no parents, but he has a connectivity with this man. And he entered into inheritance. You understand? So the same Samuel that produced David produced his own children. David was a fantastic leader. Yet his children were the one rejected. Then you ask, how did Samuel produce David and could not produce a king in his house? Because to God, both spiritual, soul, and body are all answerable to access by inheritance. Maybe I should pause and say something here. Don't fake your lineage. Don't fake your connectivity. It will only open you to mockery in the future. Because your life will show later you fake it. Don't fake it. Don't say I'm a son of this person and you're not there. So how does all this inheritance happen? I think I will just say that. How does inheritance happen? How do we say I can really enter into inheritance? Either you are a spiritual child, or you are a school of thought, or you are a biological child. How do you enter into inheritance? How? Because most of us don't know how to enter it. I'll just say one thing. There are not many things. There are few things that give you access to inheritance. But the most important one is what I want to talk about tonight. That give you access to inheritance. And this is where God is the one that at work. See, the issue of inheritance cannot be taken by men. To a man, he wants his firstborn to be the most successful. And God will leave the firstborn and pick the last one. Who notices it? When Joseph picked his children to his father to bless them, Manasseh and Ephraim. Manasseh is the eldest, Ephraim is the youngest, sorry. And when they got there, the man's eyes was closed. His eyes was dim. He could not see them. He was only using hand. Said that Manasseh, my son, and Ephraim. The man could not see them. Bible said eyes of Jacob was already dim. But yet, when he want to bless them, his spiritual one, Lolo, Kolole. He came to the spirit and changed their hand. The father said, no, bring your right hand upon the right side. He said, no. I'm not speaking because I can see from here. I can see from here. And how does he, what makes Ephraim and Manasseh to be different? What makes Jacob and Esau, because you have been reading it, Jacob I love Esau I hate. What makes them to be different? Have you ever studied and studied it? People will say it's messy. I've had that teaching a lot of time. Most times it's not true. There is no vague in knowledge of God. Everything God do has a spiritual knowledge to it. The day God opens your revelation, is where you find it. There is nothing called fake in the spirit. It's a lie. The other they shame is a lie. There is a reason to it. God will never build something or nothing. God will never build something or nothing. He built Jesus on all the prophets. He will never build something or nothing. That's not God. That's not God. And that's why, let me say this before I start. Just take 5-10 minutes more and I close. Let me tell you something today. Please, if you are not getting it tonight, get this. Never you omit or ignore God's instruction. God is only telling you to build something that you can build on. Let me plan. Never in your life. Take it from me as your inheritance. Never in your life will you ignore God's instruction. He gave to you as a blessing. He's only asking you to build something so he can build you on it. God does not need the blood of Isaac. He only need the obedience of Abraham. So that he can build something on it. Most of us don't know that. Doesn't need the blood of Isaac. Go feed them fishing. The death of that man does not profit God. But he need the obedience of Abraham. So he can build Abraham on that obedience. So Abraham is God. I say it's like a mountain. How do you become a mountain? When you are built for God to build on you. That's when you become unmovable. How will they move you? Because you first build. God now builds you on it. But most of us have not built anything. God give instruction. You wish to do it. God said this. You said no, you are wise. In your head, you thought you are wise. You are only weakening your own foundation. And when the foundation is destroyed, what will you do? I'm asking you, what will you do? What will you do? I told you this month, if you are not ready for it, don't come. One thing is important. One thing is important. We've said a lot of things tonight. How God suspended the covenant over Samuel because he wanted to punish Saul. And if I were you, I think that's one thing I think I would like to pray on more and more every day. It's not right for you, sir, to go to 7 another ministers and 7 another ministers pray for you and nothing happen. Stop looking at those ministers. Looking what? You can't be going everywhere to pray over everything. Sir, if you go there and God will not do it, God will tell one of them that I will do it for her. Tell her. I will do it for her. Time when you do something more. That God never said to anybody, I will do it for you. And then you keep going around. Sorry, you don't understand what I'm saying. Maybe I should pause that. They take you from A to B to C. All of them anointed call of God. To D to E to F to G. 7. And you have run through 7 ministers in 3 years. And yet, not everybody has prayed for you with the integrity of their heart and nothing happened. And yet, you are looking for the 8th one. You can start the journey, you will not finish. Stop! And ask God, what is happening to me? But 7 of them should not fail. If God will not do it yet, he will tell one of them, tell him I will do it. He said, God shall tell you will do it. But he didn't tell me when. Go. But nobody spoke. And they all pray for you with integrity of their heart. And God did not answer, something is wrong with you. Am I sure? 100% sure. Is that time for you to stop and say, I don't need more prophets. I need more understanding of what is happening. You go to God. Please. You have prayed to God. I don't like it, sir. When people pray for me too much and nothing happens. I think God did not speak about it. Sorry, I can't swallow it. I knew everything that happened to me. God spoke to me first about it. Ask her. God spoke to me first about everything. 2 months before the wedding. I didn't have an understanding. 6 months again, he came. He break it down to me, everything. So I'm not a victim. I don't need to go from place to place. But if you are going from place to place and yet they are all called. Let me say this so I can close. What does we need to have to assess the inheritance? What? Among some few things, which I will maybe touch, but I want to speak about one just in 5 minutes and I close. What do you think qualifies this man for the inheritance? And maybe I should say this. Let me sit you down. Sorry. Let me not start the family one because I don't want to be tempted to go there because I will have shown you why you look like a contradiction today and what you can do to resolve that contradiction. But maybe I will do that next time. Most of us, the suffering today is a product of the spirit of your father and your mother. See that? I will get there later. And I will show you in the Bible. It's there. It's not me. It's Bible. When you have access to their spirit and the spirit of both of them does not agree to bless you, and that's your strength, you're in trouble. I'm not going there today. See this man. What is the most important thing? God show us in 1 Samuel 16 how to enter inheritance. Follow me. Come. Samuel was spoke to by God. Take your horn, fill it with the oil. Hello? You know what horn is? Do you want us to go this direction? Or should we close now? When God spoke to Samuel about Saul, it says, a man is coming. Anoint him king. He didn't say pick the horn. So Samuel adopted Saul. But David was given to Samuel. So God told him, take your horn. That's the height of the prophetic horn. That's the height of the prophetic power. That horn did not work more than just twice in the Bible. He only took it, and one of it is David. That you see a prophet come with his horn. God has sent them out. He didn't tell them, take your horn. That's the highest level of their authority. Because horn represents authority. So take your horn. Pour the oil in your horn. Then Samuel knew the guy I'm going to find is the next one. That's my true son. So he came with the oil. And he has the highest form of his power in God in his hands. And he talked to him. He said, Jason? He said, yes. He said, God sent me to anoint king in your house. Bring out all your son. Watch it. And all the sun begin to come. All the sun. Maybe I should say this for clarity. Say, when, my God, stay back. No, you stay back. Stay. When Jesse picked the first son, so the Bible says that he told them to come. And they are coming one by one. When Jesse said, this is my first son, go. What do you think is happening? This journey that this guy is going is the most important journey of a man's life. Oh my God. That a man is showing you the way to God. Where God is waiting to make the best out of you. That's the most important journey of your life. Above all else, when Jesse released his son, at that point, he stopped to being the only son of Jesse. It's from a father to a father. A father says, go to another father. There's a spiritual, I don't have the spiritual capacity to be your father spiritually, but there's a spiritual father there. So a father is trying to marry their sonship into a fatherhood as deeper than what they have. So when he released the first son, and the guy was coming here, when he got to Samuel said, this guy has the appearance. He has a broad shoulder. His haircut is perfect. He looks like a strong man, fit to be a king. And he take the horn. And there is a force behind the horn. There is a power that holds the horn, that makes the horn the horn. The horn does not become active until God is there. So the God of the horn spoke and said, you can do your nonsense. Don't ever pour that oil on his head. Why? God now said the most important thing. He said, you look at the man from the appearances, but God look at the heart. What qualifies you for inheritance is your heart. If you fail that one, forget inheritance. You can be savvy and be fake. God sees your heart. And you can't do genuine leadership without a good heart. Until you fail. Forget it. You can't manipulate these things. Why? God is the one that sees the heart. He didn't give access to any man to see it. Even Samuel does not see the heart. No matter how anointed you are. So you can be laboring over somebody trying to force inheritance and you don't enter. My friend said, no, me. Oh, you are laboring, my friend said. I don't want to use anybody. I, as a prophet, trying to force inheritance on this guy. And I said to God, you must get it. And God said, why? You look at the face. You look at eye services, what he's doing. And the one that sees that, I won't give it to him. So there is always a contact between the prophet and God about inheritance. And the same thing with father. That's why God can leave the firstborn. And the father will say, I bless you. And God will say, I'm not blessing him. And God will go to the last one and bless that one. Why? Because God saw the heart. What qualifies you for the inheritance, either spiritual or school of thought, soul, or the body, is not anything but your heart. For the abundance of your heart, God will actually check to see if you are qualified. So it's not what they pray on you that give you inheritance. It is your heart. And the heart can only be corrected by you. God said, I don't want somebody without the heart. Don't give me inheritance. Let him be content being the son of Jesse. Let him not be a son of Samuel. He has no heart for it. So what gives you a qualification for the son of Samuel is the heart. The inheritance. So the first guy came. The second guy came. The third guy came. All of them. Sir, it doesn't count. God does not waste time when it comes to the issue of inheritance. God can wait for 20 years. Until they find somebody who is willing. Hello, in a hurry. It's not in a hurry when it comes to inheritance. You can do all you want to do. God will start to wait. If you like, swallow and pour. Put the oil on your lips and pour. Pour the head. Hold the body. Give them the clothes. All of these things does not work. If they open you with the clothes, it's the anointing that touch you just for that. When you wake up, nothing happens. Nothing is transferred because your heart is not genuine. And men can give you their car because you are their son. Only God can give you their spirit. So tonight, I bring you the first most important key in leadership. Your heart. Your heart. Your heart. When Samuel left the scene and David had a problem, he prayed one prayer. You understand what happened that day? He said, God, create in me a new heart. He knew that is the key. Now when that one is gone, other things are gone. And God said, I love David. Not because he's perfect. So inheritance is not for the perfect. It's for those who have the heart. Most of us don't have the heart though. Our heart is terrible. Your heart is not kind. Your heart is not good. Your heart is not serviceable. Your heart is not humble enough to serve. Your heart is, even things you are doing are fake and you know it yourself. And yet God that is the giver of all things sees your heart. Men can give you anything they have. That's their labor. Only God can give you their spirit. And God says, I won't transfer from your spirit to this person. Because this person's heart is not right. And that's it. I'll close. For time's sake, I don't want to close it. But let me not start about the heart. But I will tell you the truth, sir. This issue of the heart is an issue to take time to deal with. My heart is my greatest battleground. I fought with my heart more than I fought with anything in life. Because I know that my heart can turn me away from God. So I always fight my heart all the time. To be right. To be humble. If there's one prayer I still pray to God, it's every day. God, make me more humble. More humble. Let this heart not rise against me. Because I know my heart can rise in pride, sir. What killed Saul was the heart. He felt that he has become something. God now told him, so I raised you when you are nothing. But now that you felt you are something, that's why God dropped him. His heart felt is the king. His heart felt it. May God not raise you to the point your heart now begin to be God to you. And begin to speak to you. Say, don't worry, I'm here. This heart. God said, David is a man after my heart. Why? Because David has a heart for people. Heart for God. His heart is, if David said you yes, his yes is yes. He meant it. His heart is pure. So God look at all the brothers, they are pretensive. All their service to Jesse is false. Their service to Saul is false. Because I only find David, a man that has the heart. So what qualifies you for the inheritance? Among all else is the heart. Time will not suffice for me. Talk about the service. Because the Bible says there is Elisha that poured water on the hand of Elijah. I will not tell you all of these things. Time will not suffice me to speak about the place of you paying sacrifice. Those are things that determine inheritance. Time will not permit me. But go on with one thing today, your heart. At least all that thing can function from your heart if your heart is right with God. And there's one thing I've been begging God for, is for me to have the heart. If I want to talk to you, I want to be genuine. When I say to you that I love you, I want to be genuine. When I say I'm warning you, I want to be genuine. And I won't have interest in you saying, I warn you, yet when you now fall, and I went and said, that's not genuine. I don't want to have the heart for that. I want to say, I warn you, when you fall, I want to go and carry you. Say, you're still my daughter. Take you out of that. I want to have that heart. That God can say his heart is genuine. He loves people genuinely. Not that today I love them, tomorrow I don't love them. Your heart is not right. That is why you can't qualify for inheritance. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We hope you were blessed by that wonderful message. You can also follow us on our social media handles at TWC Nigeria. The Word Center, a people fat and flourishing. Stay blessed.